94.5 Virgin Radio, Vancouver's #1 hit music station.
So it's Danae Johnson hanging out from 94.5 Virgin Radio, and I know you can't see me, but right now I'm hanging out with Josh from 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
You're actually here, right?
I'm here, yeah. This isn't a sliced-in audio clip.
It's not my brother pretending to be you or something.
Could be.
It could be. Yeah, we were just talking a little bit about, you guys have been touring for, it's been almost a year, right?
It's been almost 5 years, I think. Almost 6 years, maybe.
What? Really?
Well, yeah,
some breaks in between, though, yeah?
Yeah, some small breaks, but we've kind of been on the road relatively nonstop for the past, I guess Tyler and I would say 5 years. Maybe it's more at this point. I don't really know. How
do you deal with that? Because you can't, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I think, for me, since I started playing drums when I was, 12 or 13,
yeah,
it's always really been my dream to travel around and play music. And I think that when Tyler and I started playing music, that's all we wanted to do. It was our goal to play more than, 2 or 3 shows in a month and further away than, our hometown. And so as we've been able to kind of travel around a lot more, there's parts about it that are tough, and you kind of miss your family and core group of friends at home and everything. But when you zoom out and think about it, we're doing exactly what we love and what we want to be doing, and so it's pretty cool, really.
That's awesome.
I like traveling.
So what would you say is the best part about touring and the worst part?
The best part is just kind of meeting cool people, all over the world. There's pros and cons. The other thing is, I have friends in different kind of places throughout, the world. I guess it's weird to say, but there's people in my life that I would never be able to probably see ever if I didn't travel. And now I, get to hang out with them. That's a cool thing.
Totally.
But the problem is, we're never really in one place more than 2 weeks at a time. And so the kind of investing part in people's lives, or them investing in you, has to be done through, text messaging or FaceTime or phone calls and stuff like that. And that sucks sometimes, missing kind of some important moments in families' lives or friends. But
for sure.
Other than that,
Thank God for technology.
Yeah, I don't know what people did without that stuff.
Totally. Where's Tyler, by the way? We're just hanging out with you today.
Sometimes it just gets so crazy. He's off somewhere else doing some kind of acoustic performance in another interview.
Really?
So sometimes we'll just split up
wow.
and do kind of do different kind of whatever it
break
is that
up
we
duties.
Gotta do. Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, actually, it's good he's not here, because I was gonna ask you a question do you guys get sick of one another? What is it like being with somebody that often?
It's I feel like we're together an unhealthy amount, to be honest. But
yeah,
I think that we both know each other so well. I think
okay.
if I start to feel like Tyler's getting on my nerves, or he starts to feel like I'm just getting overbearing, then we'll just take a healthy little separation. But it doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
I think we truly enjoy hanging out and being spending we had a day off yesterday, and Tyler texted me, he's like, let's go hang out at the pool, let's just hang out, and so it's it's cool to play music with your best friend.
What about when it comes to things like artistic differences when you're writing, or if he's got an opinion that you're like, that sucks,
Yeah.
Are you guys really direct about that?
It's actually, yeah. I think, just being open and honest about stuff is good.
Yeah.
When it comes to kind of artistic work stuff, we agree on almost everything.
Wow.
And it's rare that, every once in a while there'll be kind of a difference in opinion, but it's actually kind of rare that there'll be some sort of argument or real thing where somebody's not just yeah, okay, that's cool, or
that's
not that big a
amazing.
deal.
It's almost like a sign you found your right person to do this with when it's like that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to kind of creative or artistic stuff, it's that can get tough sometimes.
Totally.
Working with somebody, trying to get on the same page, but
yeah.
I feel like we kind of we mesh pretty well together with
That's
that. I feel
awesome.
like, which is cool.
I'm super stoked to see you guys tonight. You've got a sold out show tonight and tomorrow night here in Vancouver, which is pretty friggin' awesome.
Pretty crazy,
yeah. Yeah, man, that's great. And I was watching some of your videos, like you guys crowd surf. Are you still doing all that stuff?
Yeah, we do when we can.
All right, I've got you. I'll support you for sure.
All right, please do. Yeah, because it starts to get a little, talking about technology, it starts to get a little bit more interesting when people kind of pull out their phones instead of help you out and hold you up and stuff. So.
You've never fallen to the ground though, have you?
It's happened before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody's been hurt.
Okay.
So that's the important part. But there have been falls before.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
And yeah, I totally want to talk about your song, Stressed Out. The song has been so huge on our radio station.
It's crazy.
Everybody loves it. It's such a great tune. I love how you guys have really fused so many different genres of music into it. And, first of all, of course, I wanted to ask you, and I'm sure you've been asked this before, but, like, what stresses you guys out?
That's a good question. I mean, I think the song, I mean, what I'll say is, like, it was never, when we finished recording that song, we were never like, that's our hit song, that's the one that's going to be huge on the radio.
Really?
No, I think we looked at that and we were like, that's a good song, that's another one on the record, we're done, let's move on to the next, and that was kind of the thought process. But, I think just the idea of kind of growing up, when you're a kid, and your life is just so free, and you don't, like, you're always looking forward to, like, getting older or having more kind of, like, freedoms, responsibilities. As a kid, you can't wait to drive, and then once you drive, you can't wait to, turn 18 and then 21, and it's just like, I want to be older.
Yeah.
And then when you do kind of get older, then you're like, well, now I got a house, which is cool, but I gotta pay for it now, so I gotta have this job that I work.
Yeah.
I got student loans I gotta pay for, and then just all these responsibilities that you never account for when you're a kid. And so, like, I think the idea is just kind of like looking back to a time when your responsibilities were just pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And sort of almost like having this, like, thought process, like, be cool to do that again, but with the idea of the knowledge that
this mindset now
exactly what you're
totally.
avoiding from the future, instead of, like, kind of like always looking forward to the future.
Would your parents let you move back home?
I think my mom would pay me to move back home.
Right? Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, she loves having me there. She's just kind of like one of those ladies that just, like, she's like, come over, bring all your friends, and I'll cook them dinner, and we'll all hang out.
Is it your real family in the video?
Oh yeah, that's
great.
both of our real families, and then the houses that we grew up in as well.
Wow.
My parents' house, and then Tyler's parents' house that he grew up in too. So it's all real.
That's so cool that you guys included that.
Yeah, it was probably one of the most fun videos that we've ever shot.
Very cool.
It was a good time.
I was listening to, I listen to your song every day because we play it on the radio station every day. And there's always been one part of the song that I haven't known what the lyrics were. So today I actually, like, looked up the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the chorus, my name's Blurryface, and I won't sing it because I'll ruin your song. But I was like,
good.
What is Blurryface?
Well, it's interesting that you brought that up because when we were in the studio, like I said, we never really had the intention to kind of make that song be like our like radio, our hit, like our, like, the one that everyone, like, plays, whatever.
Right.
So I remember sitting with our producer, and he's like, yeah, I don't know if you should say, like, the Blurryface thing, because I don't think, no, it's not. I don't think, people might not, like, get it, or, like, it might not really make a whole lot of sense. And now, too, when I listen to it, I'm like, I'm surprised that people, because I think Blurryface is sort of a concept that we came up with. It's a little bit more, like, you have to kind of understand, you have to kind of, like, it takes a little more thought than just to kind of, like, pop on a song on the radio and be like, yeah, I get this, it makes sense,
sure.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of a character that we kind of develop it. essentially is kind of a personification of just insecurities and just stuff that, you know, we personally and we all deal with. Kind of a character that we can kind of like sit down and tangibly recognize, I think. Because a lot of times, you know, we'll wake up and just live with these insecurities all day, every day, and just sort of kind of like push it aside and not really address it. And this way, for us to kind of like have this character and then also kind of have this sort of theme throughout the album has kind of made it a lot easier to kind of attack head on.
That's cool, and people can relate to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
and kind of make it their own thing. So that's essentially like a shortened version of what that is.
It's cool. That's one of the things that I really love about you guys is a lot of your stuff, like your photo shoots, your videos, your music, the lyrics, a lot of it is so abstract. And I really like that because, you know, it's not just the cookie cutter pop music, like it's something different. And it's so cool because I was thinking about this on the way over here. I'm like, looking at your stuff, it really would appear from the outside that you guys are not worried or concerned about what people think about you.
Right.
You know, like you're just doing whatever the heck you want. But then that's like one of your first lyrics in the song is, and I care what you think.
Well, I think... Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I take that as a compliment, so thanks.
Yeah.
I think that everybody cares what they... I mean, like...
Totally.
It doesn't matter to me what you say or what you project. You wake up and you do care what people think. Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't get out of bed, or you wouldn't go buy new clothes or whatever it is that you do. I think everybody cares, and within that insecurity, I think like an important thing that I've learned is that how they kind of handle that caring what people think kind of sometimes can make up their personality. Sometimes people are mean to people for no reason, and that, you know, I think that's kind of an indication of their level of their own insecurity. Or some people are overly nice, or, you know, whatever it is. It's like, I think like a lot of things kind of like carrying back to the insecurities that we live with, whether it's deep down or whether it's, you know, lives right on your sleeve.
Yeah.
It's kind of a representation of sort of who you are and what your personality can be like. Sorry, it's getting so deep.
I love it. Well, it's so cool because I like your YouTube videos. You guys do this hilarious series. Like, you and Tyler are hilarious.
Oh, well, thanks.
You are?
Yeah, we, you know, a lot of this stuff just kind of like I said, we've been traveling for like 5 years, and we'll just, at this point now, we try and make each other laugh, and then like Tyler will do something crazy, and I'm like, I want to put that on Vine or put on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So many social medias now, but
I know.
and then, you know, and then we'll just come up with these ideas, like sometimes just out of like boredom or whatever. We're like, let's, you know, this will be funny to do, and then that'll last like a little bit, and then, you know, we get bored of it and want to try and do something else.
Right. Oh no, it's awesome. It's great that you have that fun side, but then it's apparent through your lyrics and everything else that you also have the depth and some substance as well.
I think growing up for me, you know, and whether I'm kind of like going through a season of like maybe like a cloudy, kind of like a more depressed, or like more like a kind of an anxiety type thing, the things that have helped me the most are laughter and music. And I think both of those things are so important and therapeutic too. Yeah. And so I try to laugh as much as I can.
It's awesome. It's
and
contagious.
Listen to music too.
It's
it is
contagious.
Yeah, comedy is a form of medicine, in my opinion.
For sure. Last question for you. So you guys also talk a decent amount about purpose, like having a purpose in life. Do you feel like you found yours and this is it for you?
That's a really good question. I think so, but I don't know. I think I don't know if you... That's a good question.
It's a hard question.
It is a hard question.
I feel like a question we ponder like our whole lives.
Yeah.
So I'll be amazed if you've got it figured out, because I don't.
I think it's meant to be pondered for a long period of time. You know what I mean? And I think that like it's important to kind of realize what you think your purpose may be,
Yeah.
and then continue on down that path. And I think that sometimes that can evolve a little bit, but I do think that I've found something worth chasing for a while, and other than that, I can't give you concrete,
That's good. If it's making you
answer.
happy and making you feel more alive today, then
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on your
On our little phone recorder.
On your phone.
All right,
yeah.
man. Cheers.
Yeah.
94.5 Virgin Radio, Vancouver's #1 hit music station.